Hi, folks. Glenn, the King of Home Comfort, right back at you again for tip number 2 in this series of useful tips for the HVAC industry or heating and cooling industry, trying to get away from the industry jargon. Today, I want to talk about brands. I'm constantly asked on a regular basis, really, Glenn, what brand is the best? What brands do you carry? Glenn, I've done a lot of research, and this brand X is better than brand Y, so I'm hoping you have brand X because I don't like brand Y. All kinds of stuff, and I guess I've got a lot of answers for that. But the biggest one I always say is Consumers Report, which is the only unbiased source of information out there. Right? They take no advertising dollars from anybody, so they really got no reason why they would spew one result better than the other, or skew one result better than the other. So they have basically said that they will not give any recommendations of brand because they feel that they're all pretty similar. And actually they're right, because there's only 3 different companies, that Honeywell, White Rogers, and the other one slips me right now, but there's only 2 companies. There are 3 component companies that make these products, and they're all kind of similar, right? So stay away from builder grade like Keep Right, Coleman, Payne, Tempstar. You've got this much chance, this much chance. It really matters is the installation. Installation is king when it comes to equipment. So much so, the University of British Columbia did a survey a few years ago back where they actually investigated a lot of these installs, and they found that over 90%, that's right, 90% of all installs in Canada were done incorrectly, which basically means that your gas bills are higher, your electric bills are higher, you're not getting the comfort that you're hoping for, and it actually is going to cost you more in the long term for gas, electricity, as we kind of said, and also it's going to shorten the life of the equipment, which is never really a good thing. So most brands are pretty much identical other than the builder grade. And really, sometimes I hear, Glenn, I've seen a survey, I've seen results, and it might have even been Consumer Report where they looked at repair history. And that is true. But then I also look at that and I say, well, how come brand X versus brand XBY is different? And they look at me, well, it must be a better brand. And I go, well, that's interesting because it's made by the exact same manufacturer. You see, there's only really about 5 or 6 different manufacturers that make about 300 plus brands of equipment out there. So you have to ask yourself, why is that brand rated higher than this one? And the biggest reason is it's dealerships. Some of the name brands that you may have heard out there, like for example, we carry Lennox, and we also carry the Man of Distinctions product. Name brands that are out there. But to keep these brands or to get these brands, you have to have a dealership. Now, a dealership requires a minimum specifications of standards for keeping customers happy to keep that brand. Doesn't mean you're great by any means, but it means there's at least a minimum standard to achieve this level. And that's why those brands are usually installed a little bit better than, say, some of the same other brands that anybody can go buy at a wholesaler. And I'll end this video on one I always talk about. Everybody knows who Tiger Woods is, probably one of the greatest golfers of all times. Some people know what brand of equipment he uses, but it really doesn't matter in this case, because if Tiger Woods was to give me his golf clubs, I can guarantee you 100% I'm not going to be a better golfer. I'm not going to win any Masters tournament. I'm not going to win any golf tournament. I'm not going to beat anybody. I'm a horrible golfer. I've tried. It's just not my thing. But if I was to give him my old golf clubs, I guarantee you he would still be a very, very good golfer, and actually might still win the tournaments. Also, let's look at somebody like Elton John, probably one of the greatest pianists of all times. All right. Now, if you had a piano in your home and you've taken a few lessons, it might sound okay, right? It would probably sound pretty good. Me, myself, who loves music, but is not musically gifted, unfortunately, could not play a note on that. Same piano, you're going to sound much better. Now let's invite Elton John over and touch that exact same piano. It's going to sound magical. It's going to sound magnificent. It's going to sound heavenly. It's going to sound like not the same piece of equipment, but it is. So it really is the skill set of the person playing the equipment that makes all the difference in the world. And I'll give you another example. This one recently came up. I was talking to a chef customer of mine, and basically she was kind of having a hard time understanding that. But I says, you know what? Let's talk about a steak, a nice steak. Let's talk a filet mignon. Okay. Now you've taken courses. You're a master chef, right? Now let's deal with somebody like myself. Well, I've taken a few courses. Not really courses, but I just kind of know how to cook a little bit. I'm going to be okay. But let's think about somebody who has never done that at all. And could we all cook the same filet mignon? Mine might taste okay. The person who's never taken a course, not very good at all, almost like a hockey puck. This chef, will probably taste magnificent. Why? Because it's the skill set of the person cooking the equipment. So that is my little take on brands. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else you wish me to discuss in any of these upcoming tips, please by all means contact me. I'm very easy to find, Glenn the King of Home Comfort on Facebook, or just send a reply to this message, or instant message me, or Facebook message, whatever it is. I'm very, very easy to find. So that's tip number 2 in the series of heating and air conditioning tips. I hope you have a fantastic day, and bye for now. We'll talk to you real soon.